Dmitry Bivol is about to do something almost no champion ever does voluntarily. He's about to hand back a world title, not because he lost it, not because he's hurt, but because there's exactly one fight he wants, and it isn't the one sitting right in front of him. Right now, Bivol is under WBO order to defend against mandatory challenger Callum Smith. The deadline for that deal was July 26th, but according to promoter Eddie Hearn, Bivol isn't interested in waiting around to make that fight happen. He wants out of the Smith fight entirely, and he's willing to vacate the WBO title to do it. So what's worth walking away from a championship for? One name: Artur Beterbiev. Dmitry wants the trilogy. That's the fight he wants. We'll start those conversations and see what happens, Hearn said. Not one of the options. Not if the money's right. The trilogy is the fight, according to his own promoter. That's how much unfinished business is sitting between these two men. To understand why, have to go back to where this rivalry actually started, because this is not a manufactured storyline. This is a real blood-earned score that's never been settled. October 2024, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Beterbiev, unbeaten in 20 fights with a terrifying 95% knockout rate, defends the undisputed light heavyweight championship against Bivol for the first time. 12 rounds, majority decision. Beterbiev's hand gets raised. Bivol's undefeated record is gone, and for the first time in his career, he has to sit with a loss. Most fighters don't get an immediate rematch for something like that. Bivol did. Yeah, 4 months later, February 2025, same city, same stakes, all the belts on the line again. And this time, Bivol adjusts, digs in, and gets his hand raised instead. Majority decision his favor. The score evened at 1 apiece. Bivol walks away the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. That should have been the story. Two great fighters split right down the middle, book the decider, sell out an arena, let the sport crown a clear king. Instead, nothing happened for over a year. Beterbiev hasn't fought since that loss, not once. He turns 42 in January, and every month he sits inactive as a free agent is a month closer to a body that simply can't wait forever. He's publicly questioned whether Bivol even wants this fight, watching him instead deal with back surgery, elbow surgery, and a WBC title he ended up vacating rather than defending. And now, just as Bivol finally returns to the ring, a dominant win over mandatory challenger Michael Eifert back in May. The boxing world expected him to keep it simple. Fight Callum Smith, keep all 4 belts, stay busy, stay safe. Instead, Bivol is reportedly ready to let the WBO title go, just to reopen the door with Beterbiev. Think about what that actually says. Belts are leverage, belts are money, belts are the entire currency of this sport, and Bivol is willing to hand one back, not for a bigger paycheck, not for an easier route, for a rubber match against the one man who's already beaten him once and nearly beaten him twice. That's not a business decision, that's personal. And here's the thing, this isn't even the first time Bivol has sacrificed a title chasing this exact rivalry. Back in 2025, he vacated the WBC title rather than defend it against mandatory challenger David Benavidez because unfinished business with Beterbiev was still hanging over him. So this isn't a one-time impulse decision. This is a pattern. 2 different world titles, 2 different mandatory challengers, both pushed aside for the same one goal. Now put yourself in Beterbiev's corner for a second. He's sitting there, 41 years old, no fight on the calendar, watching his one true rival play politics with world titles instead of picking up the phone. Every boxing insider covering this story says the same thing. The clock isn't just ticking on this fight getting made. It's ticking on whether Beterbiev's body will even let him show up for it when it finally does. And spare a thought for the man getting bypassed in all of this. Callum Smith did everything right. He waited his turn, earned his mandatory shot fair and square, and now he's likely getting bumped into a fight with Joshua Buatsi for a vacant title instead, because the champion he was supposed to fight has his eyes on someone else entirely. That's the collateral damage when a rivalry this personal takes priority over the rulebook. So here's where this actually stands. No signed contract, no date, no venue. Just a promoter publicly confirming that his fighter is willing to sacrifice hardware most champions would never touch, all to chase one man down for the third time. And it's worth saying, boxing doesn't get many rivalries this evenly matched. Both fights were majority decisions. Both fights could have gone the other way on a different night with different judges in a different round. That's not a gap in talent, that's two elite fighters who happen to be almost perfectly matched puzzle pieces for each other, which is exactly why a trilogy feels less like a cash grab and more like the only way this story actually gets to end properly. Boxing history remembers its great trilogies for a reason. Ali and Frazier, Gatti and Ward, Barrera and Morales. Those rivalries mattered because neither guy ever fully solved the other. Every fight raised new questions instead of answering old ones. Bivol and Beterbiev already have that same shape. One knockout artist, one master craftsman, both walking away from their first two fights with something left to prove. If this fight happens, it's not just a trilogy, it's two guys who split a rivalry 1-1, both watching the other's body clock differently. One recovering from surgery, one aging out of his prime, racing to see if they can settle it before time makes the decision for them. That's the whole idea behind Find a Way. Bivol isn't protecting what's safe right now. He's giving up security to go finish something. That's not just a boxing story, that's the whole KKE mindset stitched into everything we drop. Links in the description if you want to rep it. Two fighters, one win each. A title on the table that one of them doesn't even want anymore. Artur Beterbiev's whole career might be riding on whether this fight gets made in time. Drop a comment. Do you think Bivol Beterbiev 3 actually happens this year, or does the clock run out first? Find a way. We'll see you in the next one.